Hey, it's your girl, your favorite paralegal, aka Cassandra Lynn, and welcome to Legal Doc Talk 24/7. Y'all know me. Once I get started on something, I cannot get away from it. So I had to take like a little break from work and actually tap into this investigator or investigators who are associated with Jay Z and his firm or the firm that he's hired. If you watched the last video that I did, I read a declaration from a private investigator who claimed that they were not hired by Jay Z or Jay Z's attorneys, which led me to the question of who hired you, because you just can't insert yourself into a lawsuit. You can't. That's just like somebody I'm doing unless you're a witness or something like that. That's one thing. But an investigator can't be like, "Hey, I was, I visited this, your the previous party that had a lawsuit against you, and they told me some things, and maybe you can use it." That's not how it works. If they needed an investigator, they would hire one. All right. With that being said, then I was like, this sounds so familiar because one, Busby has told us that ever since he admitted that, well, probably ever since he submitted the what you call those, the demand letters to Jay-Z, November 5th, this is when everything started happening. People were just showing up at other people's homes, like asking questions is just like randomly. Former clients, former employees, current employees, family members, all have been contacted by, and I'm doing quote air quotes, investigators. Now, although the declaration that I just read in the previous video, even though they stated that nobody hired him, not Jay-Z nor the attorneys, his attorneys, I had to go back to the affidavits that were submitted in some of the cases that Tony Busby has filed against Rock Nation, MG Legal, a one in private investigator, um, because as of right now, Geraldo Garcia and Jose Maldonado have a lawsuit against MJ Legal, Jessica Santiago, and Rock Nation for just, mysteriously showing up on their doorstep, trying to get them to take a bribe to participate in a lawsuit against Tony Busby. If your wheels are turning, that's a good thing. That is a good thing. So I'm going to take some time and I'm going to read a transcript, and I'm going to read affidavits of everybody who had similar instances, just like Jane Doe. Now, Jane Doe is probably the 60th, probably the 100th person that has been approached by these mysterious investigators who claim to be investigators. They're probably not even investigators. They're probably not even providing them with their real names. But I want y'all to I'm going to read the transcripts, I'm going to read the affidavits, and y'all going to make y'all conclusion from this. It cannot be that people, because even an investigator who has submitted a declaration on Jay-Z's behalf stated that she approached, are y'all listening? Stated that she approached Jane Doe. And these lawsuits, Geraldo Garcia lawsuit, Jose Maldonado lawsuit, guess what they're saying? We don't have any investigators. Nobody approached you. That's what they're saying. So you got one investigator who submitted a declaration that wasn't hired by Jay-Z or his attorneys, that's saying we went to Jane Doe. But then on the other side, in the Jose Maldonado, Geraldo Garcia cases, they're saying y'all lying. We don't have any investigators. Nobody approached them. So check this out. I'm not gonna take too much of y'all time. Geraldo Garcia and Jessica Santiago. Now, here's the crazy part. MJ Legal said they did a background searched the database. No, not even. MJ Legal hired somebody to do a search on Jessica Santiago. And in her declaration, she claimed that Jessica Santiago is not a real person. All right. This is Geraldo. And if y'all don't know his story, they pretty much showed up at his house. But he was smart. Listen to this. Do you have time today so we can have an appointment to talk and show you the papers you can communicate with the lawyer? This is Jessica. Client says yes. PI says what time? Client says, look, at 5 p.m. One thing, if I sign that contract, is there some money that you will pay me first? PI says depends on the lawyer, but what you will sign today is only a contract to investigate. Given permission to the lawyer to conduct an investigation into your case to see what happened and to recommend a separate lawyer more familiar with your kind of case. But she will not charge anything, and the separate lawyer also does not require any money. Only at the conclusion do they take out their fee if they are able to recover the money you are entitled to. Client, the lawyer is from the state or a private lawyer? PI says, it's a private lawyer. We are from the state, but it's a private lawyer that know what the Busby law firm was doing. For example, last night someone signed up with us, and in his case, Busby was depositing his checks in Busby's private account and not in an account for lawyers, and he was charging the interest and taking that money, and he was stealing the checks from insurance, and so he didn't know that Busby was stealing. That was his case. Now, I don't know much about your case, but the lawyer you will speak with today, she will explain, and she will open your case, see what happened to you. But your name appeared on the list of people that may have something unusual, and she wants to investigate your case, and then she will recommend someone more familiar in your kind of case to recover all that money. Client says, and they are from the state? The PI says, the lawyer is from here, Texas, and also has a license in New York. Us, the investigators, are from the state, but we are not lawyers. But the lawyer has her license here in Texas and in New York. That class action is just for certain people who had access with the lawyer. The PI says, exactly, with that lawyer. We have 70 people in the class actions that had problems because they are frauds with the lawyer Busby. Last night, the man who we spoke with, he has two cases because Busby was putting his checks in a private checking account. That's a criminal case. But he also has separate case where he can recover the fees from what Busby owes him. So he has two cases. We didn't know that until the lawyer explained and told him, no, you have two cases, one criminal and the other to recover your money. Now we don't know about your case because the lawyer first needs to open your case and investigate with what happened with you. So it's possible you have two cases as well, depending on what Busby, did to you. And the client says, and so if I sign, there's money, right? She responds, there's money that will be recovered, of course, the money that you're owed, and you will need not to go to court because there are lots of people in the class action, more than 70 people who have signed up with this lawyer. Client says, what's the process? To look at some documents first, or do I need to go with a lawyer? PI says, no, no, no. She will be your lawyer. That's why we are asking for the document that you have. If you don't have any, she can still do her search and she will read your case that you had with Busby, and she will look into everything that happened. But it's better if you have documents too. He states, no, well, I lost all my documentation. This happened a long time ago, so I wouldn't have documents now. But do I need to go to a lawyer's office or will you come to my house? The PI says, I will send you a paper that explains where the lawyer is. It will explain everything in that paper. You can read it, and then I can contact the lawyer. Her name is Marcy Croft from MJ Legal, and she will explain more by telephone. But the document will explain what I have just told you, told you no over the phone. Now, I'm sorry. Wait, that's what she spelled that wrong. Told you now over the phone, and you will have your copy. It's just an agreement so that she can investigate more your case to see if there is something unusual, and if so, she will recommend someone familiar with your case. Because there are many lawyers, but she will recommend someone who is more known with this case, like from last night. He says, will you charge me anything? She replies, no, nothing. The lawyer who will have your case, yes, of course, like always, they always charge a fee. Normally, the lawyers charge 30%. Whichever lawyer you go with, they will charge you, yes, but the lawyer, she will not charge anything at first. She works with us in fraud cases and then she will recommend someone more familiar. Then, at the conclusion of the case, they will charge their part and also pay you your part as well. The client states, those papers can just leave them at my house, or do you want me to go to the office? She replies, no. That's why I'm asking what time you will be home, so we can show you the paper and explain, and we can speak with a lawyer. He says, so the agreement, I can see it. She says the agreement, yes. He states, and so this is a class action, a lawsuit of many people. She says, exactly. We have 70 people that are in this class action, and there will be more. You are on the list, but we have other people too. Today, I'm visiting with you and with three more people who will sign up to be in the lawsuit, and it will increase daily. We have more pages of people. I don't know how many, but there are many. And if there are more people in the class action, let me see. If and da, 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 da. Oh yeah, I don't know how many, but there are many. And if there are more people in the class action, that is better for you because that means you will collect something. He states, what kind of percentage can I collect with this, or what can I? She states that depends on your case because all the cases are different. The document I will show you today explains that it gives permission to open your case and to see what happened, but she will not charge anything for that. But then she would recommend someone familiar. Sorry to interrupt. The lawyer will be present today or just you? She says, me and my partner, but she is working right now, but she told me we can contact her at any time. He says 5:30 is fine. She says yes, 5:30 is fine. He says, any charge and we will call each other, true? No, any change and we will call each other, true? And what is the name of the lawyer? Pardon? She says Marcy Croft. Client says okay. She says from MJ Legal. Client says okay. All right, so, and then investigator says, I will give you a copy. You can read it good, and you can call her too with us present, and she can explain it better. Client says, and what is your name? PI says, me. My name is Jessica. Client says, Jessica, just Jessica? She says, no, no, Jessica Santiago. Client says, okay, on delay. So I will look at everything at 5:30 and we will be in contact. Contact. Very kind of you. Thank you. PI says, okay, Geraldo, thank you. Now, in this particular case, for Geraldo and Jose, they claim that there's no one by the name of Jessica Santiago. Here are some declarations from various individuals who have been approached by these investigators. This instrument was acknowledged before me by means of an interactive two-way audio and video communication on December 10th, 2024 by Skylar Taylor. This notarial act was online notarization with electronic signatures. Before me, the undersigned notary, Skylar Taylor, personally came and appeared after being duly sworn, did state that my name is Skylar Taylor. I am a resident of the state of Louisiana of sound mind and capable in all respects in executing this affidavit under oath. The information contained in this affidavit is made upon my personal knowledge and is true and correct. Three men from New York area visited my grandmother's home on multiple occasions, showing up unannounced and demanding to speak with me. I did not know these men and did not solicit them. When I spoke with these men, they stated that they were investigators hired by an attorney to contact clients of the Busby Law Firm to join a class action lawsuit against the Busby Law Firm. They refused to provide any further information on who they were, what investigation company they worked for, and or who or what attorney hired them. Without knowing any of the details of my cases, these men attempted to convince me to file a lawsuit against my attorneys at the Busby Law Firm. These men offered me money to sign as a client with them. These men stated that they and or the attorney that hired them paid a former employee of Busby Law Firm $1,000 to sign on with them as a client and sue the Busby Law Firm. Then we have Shannon. And before anybody said anybody can make this up, no. I'm not even speaking from the paralegal capacity. I'm speaking for a notary capacity right here. As a notary, we have to keep track of every single notarial act that we do. As you can see, these were done online notarization. Here's the DocuSign envelope. So what DocuSign for notaries, I use DocuSign and I use Blue Notary. It keeps track of every person that we see. So, for instance, on Blue Notary, the individual will have to upload their driver's license or state identification or passport information in order to even sign on to be able to get to this part. Do the oath in front of the notary, electronically sign, and then we'll go ahead and sign and we'll stamp using our electronic online notary stamp. So before anybody says these are fake, these are not fake. And this is from the notary, not from a paralegal, from the notary. All right. So with Miss Shannon Champagne, she stated that three men from New York area visited my home on multiple occasions, showing up unannounced and demanding to speak with me. I did not know these men and had not solicited them. When I spoke with these men, they stated they were investigators hired by an attorney to contact clients of the Busby Law Firm to join a class action against the Busby Law Firm. They refused to provide any further information on who they were, that the investigate company they worked for, or what attorney hired them. Without knowing any of the details of my case, these men attempted to convince me to file a lawsuit against my attorneys at the Busby Law Firm. These men offered me money to sign on as a client with them, and specifically, they offered me $10,000 in exchange for signing with them as a client. Oh, this was the audio from someone else. Um, and I've done this before, but this is crazy. This is crazy. Have you heard? Oh, wait, no. Speaker one says, I heard you're looking for me. Speaker two says, hello. Thank you so much for calling me back. Yes, absolutely. I'm actually in the car and you're on speaker. I have my partner with me. We wanted to actually talk to you regarding the case that you have. I know that you've got, let me see, got hurt on the boat, and there's something called the Jones Act. I don't know whether you're familiar with that. It would take 2 minutes of your time to answer my question and might be beneficial for you to speak with. Let me know. Let me ask you something else. Is your case still active? The speaker said, I prefer not to answer questions, but I'll hear you out. Speaker two said, okay, you don't need to answer that question. Let me ask. Let me. And then speaker three interrupts. David, good morning. Hey, my name is Joe. If I may, can or is there a place we could meet up? Any place you like where we could sit down and talk. You can listen to it. And if you don't like what we have to say, uh, you can say, I don't want to cooperate and then walk away. And that's it. No harm, no foul. So not only are they approaching people, they are calling people. They are like actively tracking these people down. This is a call. This was so someone was smarter. This speaker was smart enough to record. And so what they did is they sent it to our good friends at US Legal. And what they do is they transcribe this call and they will submit this to the court to let the court know that this call was transcribed. It's true and correct, accurate information to the best of their ability while they are listening to this. And they in are no way interested in any of the events in this litigation. It has to be somebody that is not part of this investigation or litigation. All they do is scribe the audio, and that's it. Um, I read Shannon's, right? Yep. All right. Now this is David Fortney. Y'all all know who David Fortney is. He is the other attorney that's being sued in the Jane Doe defamation case out of Alabama. He is a attorney at the Busby Law Firm. Now, somebody says the phone number noted by Laura Dela Cruz in her affidavit 518-662-0616 as that of the person who contacted her is listed as the contact phone number for Lex Intelligence. When I first started covering this case, that's who Busby thought, because we all thought that it was Diddy at first that was sending his goons. And Busby said there's something going on with Lex Intelligence. All of them, Lex Intelligence, Marcy Croft and with her MJ Legal, as well as Rock Nation and Quinn Emanuel have this relationship going. But David stated that the number that she gave is listed to Lex Intelligence LLC, and that number is on their website. And then he stated that the website is now private and it cannot be viewed in full. However, I viewed the website prior to being made private in order to confirm the identity of the entity to which the phone number belonged. Because these people were calling from this number too. It's correct. This has been going on. So what Jane Doe experienced is not nothing new. This has been happening for months, ever since these Diddy cases started. David says, I understand from other members of the firm that several persons contacted by these investigators stated that the investigator identified Quinn Emanuel as the New York law firm that hired them, although the investigators would not reveal Quinn Emanuel's ultimate client. Then it says Christina S. is identified on LinkedIn as the founder of Lex Intelligence LLC. He said that he visited Christina's page this morning and it appears to have been stripped off of Quinn, the reference to Quinn Emanuel. However, when members of our firm first received information regarding Lex Intelligence at the investigators in question, the information in the screenshot below was visible, indicating Christina S. connection to Quinn Emanuel. I say, look at this, DocuSign. Top companies your searches work at. Huh. Well, I don't see it. Maybe I just misinterpret that. Then we have the affidavit of Mauricio Guevara. He says, oh, all right. So on December 2nd, 2024 at 9:45 a.m., an unknown man stood in front of my home and took pictures with a portable electronic device. That same day at 12:16 p.m., a separate unknown man lurked in front of my house with professional grade single lens reflex camera and tripod, then lightly tapped on my front door. The same man then lurked for a couple of minutes on my front patio and made a telephone call. December 3rd, 2024, I showed my neighbors the surveillance videos of the two unknown men and inquired if they were perhaps contractors that she hired. After the conversation with my neighbor, I understood that the two men were not hired contractors. On December 3rd, 2024, I reviewed separate surveillance video of two men in front of my home with Robert Conklin. Mr. Conklin is a former client of Busby Law Firm. It is my understanding that the two men were attempted to solicit Mr. Conklin for a claim against the Busby Law Firm. After reviewing the surveillance videos of both my home and Mr. Conklin's home, it appears to me that the two men in front of Robert Conklin's home are the same two men in front of my home. Elizabeth Busby. She is Tony Busby's daughter. She received a telephone call on November 27, 2024, from an unknown caller. This caller did not identify herself, but she calls from New York. New York phone number 332-255-8548. The unknown caller left a voice message stating that she was conducting due diligence of the Busby Law Firm and requested that I give her a call back at the New York number stated above. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Then we have an affidavit from Anna Faubus. Um, and she stated that she was a legal intern for the Busby Law Firm. She stated that she received a call on November 27th at 10:21 a.m. from a female caller who did not identify herself. It came from 917-730-9068. The unknown caller left a voice message stating that she was conducting due diligence on the law firm I used to work at and requested I give her a call back at the New York number stated above. She called me back and wanted me to share my experiences about the Busby Law Firm. She was not interested in any positive comments about the Busby Law Firm, but wanted to know if there's anything controversial that happened while I was working at the firm. I am related to the lawyer who works at the Busby Law Firm. So I wanted to read these affidavits to you and the transcripts so you guys can think. I want you guys to think. I want you guys to think. We have a declaration that was just submitted stating that she wasn't hired by Jay-Z nor Jay-Z's attorneys. Then we have these other lawsuits that Busby filed on behalf of two clients because these people have been approached and offered money to file or join a class action lawsuit. But yet, MJ Legal, who does have connections with Rock Nation and Quinn Emanuel, are saying that none of this happened. There are no investigators. Nobody's being approached. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until then, you all be blessed and I'm out. Bye.